So anyway, what's going to happen today is I'm going to draw, and you guys are going to draw what I draw. Okay? So we're going to draw hands. Why are we drawing hands? Because it's an art thing that you need to know, that you need to be able to do, and you need to be able to do it well. But Mr. Harward, I'm not going to be an artist. I don't care. It doesn't matter because I'm still going to teach it to you. Okay? So here we go. We're going to have some fun. We enjoy drawing hands. Can you guys see that? No, you can't. So let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here really quick. Let's go here. Go there. See if I can make this work here, right? Go there. Here we go. Cool. All right, let's bring this over here. Like that. Yeah, I've done you a disservice. If I don't teach you how to draw hands, I've done you a disservice. Oh, let's turn that off. Yeah, I know. Little delay there. Little slight delay. Okay. So there's that. Is there anybody that isn't ready? Oh, you guys all need a ballpoint pen. You guys all have a ballpoint pen, right? You guys all have a ballpoint pen? That's what we're doing today. Oh, you want? No.
No, like not. I'm not doing this now. Right?
Oh, yeah, you're doing your AP stuff. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, so you use charcoal. Yeah. Okay. Let's draw some hands. You guys can use your little sketchbooks I gave you or the big ones, whichever. Okay? You deserve it. Deserve it. Yeah, hurry. Come right back quickly. No lollygagging. Do you guys know how?
Yeah, we did like.
You've done it before?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Where's the material?
It's right there. And the snips are in the back, or they're right there. The red snips. Okay. Shh. Okay, we're gonna turn it like this. We're gonna turn our sketchbook like this. Okay. Now, why did I turn it like that? Because what? The hand's doing what? The hand's landscape format, okay? So the hand's landscape format, it's wider. And so here we go. Let's do this. First thing we're going to do, the fingers attached to the hand, okay? Well, this is the whole hand, of course. But so the fingers attached to this part of the hand. So we're going to focus, we're going to draw this part of the hand. And don't forget that, like, this part of the hand, okay, we have the carpal bones down here, which are, there's like 8 bones down here. And then we have the metacarpals, which are right here. And then you have your phalanges, okay? If you don't know that. And I don't have my little skeleton. Let me get my little skeleton. Nope, no arms. Whatever. Let's do without it. Well, let's look at this hand here. So this hand's doing this. What is that? Now that's this part right here. Let me point this out to you. See how the 4 fingers right here are coming out of this area right here? That's the arc that I'm looking at. No. You don't use that to cut that stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah. This part of the hand is like a box. Okay, this is the top. This is the side. This is the bottom. This is the other side. This is the back here if you like. This is where the wrist, and this is the front here, where the fingers attach. Okay? And this is like a box. So this is going to come down like this. This is going to come down like this. And this is going to arc like this. This is going to arc like that. And this is where the fingers are coming out of. And then we go, okay, the hand's going back in space. And this is going back in space. Okay, and this part's going back in space. And we're going to have this come down. And we're going to have this connect like that. All right, so this is a box-like form. And this is gonna make sense, and maybe it's not making sense right now, but it'll make sense in a minute. And if you can break down a hand into what I'm showing you, this is basic box form. Now, this is going on too. Watch. Right? That's transparent. We want to be thinking that's going over. That's the back corner. So that's the top. This is going across like that. Okay? When you look at a photograph of a hand or a person, or you're drawing it out of your imagination, if you can understand this concept or this idea, then you'll be able to draw hands out of your imagination. You can understand better how to draw them and construct them, okay? That's the first part. So the box is the, let's just put how to draw hands. How to draw hands. Animation. Period 5. 12, 12, 24. All right. Now let's do this. The wrist is coming down. So this is connecting. Okay. You have your carpal bones here, and your carpal bones are attached to your radius. So this bump right here, this is your ulna. Your radius goes from right here to here. And your hand is attached to your radius, or it wouldn't be able to swivel, okay? So look up your anatomy, do more research on that. But I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, this wrist is coming down. And it's coming down at an angle like that. We want to put that wrist in, and then it's attaching somewhere right here. We're leaving the thumb out for right now. We're just leaving it alone. We're going, okay, pretending there's no thumb. That's a whole nother part, okay? So this finger's attached right here. This finger's attached right here. Okay, this finger's attached right here. And this finger's attached over here. Now, what I've done is, you can see that this is a circle, this is a very wide ellipse, this is a wide ellipse, this is a more narrow ellipse, okay? Because the hand, when it's turning, is turning away from us. Okay? So what's our next tool that we can use to draw a hand? Well, we could use, or the fingers, let's say. So for the fingers, we can use I like using a cylinder, and I like a box too, okay? But anyway, let's do this. Let's just go for it. So the pointer finger is coming right at us. There's no extreme perspective here, but we're gonna start here. It's attaching right here. It's gonna come towards us. Now this is foreshortened. What's foreshortening? Foreshortening is when something's pointed towards you. Okay, so that finger's pointed towards us. Here's my pen, right? So my pen's not pointed towards us. And as the pen becomes pointed towards us, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Visually, it gets shorter. You got to hurry up and catch up. Okay, so here you can see the full length of the pen like this, but once we start turning it, look at the length. It gets really, really short. So from there to there, the length is a lot shorter. Way shorter like that. So it's pointing towards us, it gets shorter. That's called foreshortening. Okay. Now, how many digits are on the finger? We got 3. Okay, we got here to here. That's 1. Here to here. That's 2. Here to here. That's 3. Now, here to here. This is about equal to this. This is about equal to this. Okay? we got our finger over here. Let's put a little side note here. Here's the length of the finger. That's equal to that. And that's about equal to that. About, okay? And then in the middle here, we have from the crease right here, that joint right there, that's about equal to the nail bed. So we have the nail bed right here. That's about equal to that. Okay? And we'll go arrow, length of finger, proportions of digits. All right, proportions of digits. Now, what makes up the hand? Bones, muscle, tendon, fatty tissue, skin, of course. All right. But we're just breaking this down into forms. Let's look at this. So this is wrapping around. So we got a crease right here. And then this is kind of, now look carefully here. I'm gonna zoom into this finger here. Okay. I'm gonna move this down and zoom in. You can see that, look, this is wrapping around, but look, this is kind of straight, and then it curves a lot here, and then it's kind of straight right here. So this is kind of straight, and then it's curving, and then it's kind of straight right here. And then our last one is pretty round. That last section, it's pretty round right there. We see a little bit of nail right there, so we can give a little indication of nail. Okay. And this is a bump. Now watch this, and this is another bump or curve, and this is kind of a curve straight coming out like that. Let me zoom in here so you can see this better. All right. So I did a generic cylinder and then refined it. Now, while we're here and while we're kind of, while we're on this finger, I want to point out shadows. Let's talk about shadows since we're here. And there's where light turns to shadow right here. We have light and shadow. Light and shadow. If you go down the finger, light and shadow. Light and shadow. This right here, this part right here, that part right there, right? We have a core shadow, core shadow, core shadow. Core shadow is the darkest part of a shadow on an object, whatever that object is. It could be skin, it could be fabric, it could be a box, whatever. So we're gonna map where the shadow begins. We're gonna go, hey, the shadow kind of wraps around the end like so. And then it comes down and it curves like this. And then on the next digit, it curves like this. And then it goes back like zigzag, kind of like a lightning bolt. And then it curves around like this. And then on the next digit, it kind of goes straight down. And then it curves like that. And then it curves back. Okay, now, and that's just the finger we're talking about, okay? That's where I've made a decision and I'm showing you guys where. So your job today is to look at my drawing, look at your drawing, and look at the reference. Don't just look at my drawing, but also look at the reference, okay? Look at my drawing, look at the reference, try to see what I'm talking about, okay? Then this is all in shadow. We're just gonna do some hatching. This is hatching. Okay, hatching is just straight lines next to each other. They could be close, they could be far away, and it's a way to shade with a pen. So you could just shade any type of pen. It could be a felt tip pen, a dip pen, a micron, This is one way of shading, okay? All right, let's do the next finger. Now, we want to figure out the angle of the finger, okay? So look at this angle of the finger, it's doing this. So the first digit, okay, it's starting about here, and we were going to draw a straight line, and it's going up above the tip of the pinky, or the pointer finger, the tip of the pointer finger. And then it's going to come out. We're going to go out about that far. Now, what I'm thinking, I'm going out about that far. Now, why am I going out about that far? Because what I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking about this proportion. That's about equal to that. Okay? Once again, that's about equal to that. All right? And then we're going to go, this is kind of going over. We're going to go under. This is going to go down. Now watch it. We're going to wrap around. We're going to kind of go down and then wrap around, curve, okay? And then this is going to go, we'll go straight. We'll kind of curve to about here. Now, I missed a digit, and I did it on purpose, okay? So this next digit, we're going to go down at an angle, and then we're going to wrap around. And that's kind of straight. And that's kind of straight. And then we're going to curve that. And then that second digit is going to come out from behind the first one. And we're going to wrap that around. And there's a little bit of nail at the top that's wrapping around. And then it goes back. And it arcs like so. Okay, that's a little short. I'm going to fix that proportion on that. That's a little short. So I'm going to go back and then arc over, and there we go. Okay, cool. And I see a little pulling of the skin right here. Or division, it's like a division of the fat pad, because we have a soft tissue on the bottom part of our finger, and here's some of that delineation of that soft tissue. The bottom part of our finger is soft tissue, like from here down, right? That's like soft tissue going from here down. And then from here up, that's majority is skin, bone. It's mostly bone, tendon, and just skin. But down here, it's like the thicker skin and fatty tissue here, okay? All right. Now, let's talk about shadow now. So we put the angle of the finger in, we got really close. Let's go, okay, that core shadow now, we have light shadow. That's gonna come down. We're gonna go straight, curve around. That's gonna come straight, and then curve around. And then this is gonna be come out at an angle, angle down. Now, this line right here is a cast shadow, okay? So here's our core shadow here. Here's our core shadow here, you know, separation of light and dark. This is a cast shadow. It's still separation of light and dark, okay? And this cast shadow is merging with the core shadow. So that's why we have this straight line happening right there, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some hatching in. kind of doing this piece by piece today. And let's do the next finger. So this next finger, it's coming. I'm looking, we want to look at is, look, see the distance between the two fingers? There's this small distance here. Okay? So we're going to go, okay, this next finger is coming out from behind here, and there's this small distance from here to here. It ends right there. That's where that first digit ends, okay? And that would come down. And then we go, if we look at these next two digits, they're kind of arcing upwards. This is sweeping, like this arc. I say arcing under. I call this arcing under. So I call this arcing under, and I call this arcing over. Okay, so arcing under, arcing over. So this is under, over. All right, so when I say arcing under, these two are arcing under. And then I go, how far apart is this fingertip from this fingertip? Do you see? So I go, visual measurement. This is a visual measurement. What's the distance between this fingertip and this fingertip? So I'm looking at that and I go, okay, it's about right there. And then this is kind of arcing under. And then we curve the tip of the finger. Now the tip of the finger it's thinner than the rest of the finger. And it's kind of angular. You see this angle right here? Let me zoom into that. So here's this angle right here. And this is kind of curved, but it's kind of straight. So this is kind of straight. You see that? So it's curved at the end, and it's kind of straight right here. Okay? Zoom out a bit. Cool. No. There we go. All right. So we're going to go. This is coming up. We're going to do this right here. And what is that? That is this skin that's stretching right here, the webbing of the finger, okay? So the webbing of the finger is right there, okay? And I'm going to make a little adjustment. This is hold on. We need to do this. This is wrapping like that. This is going like this, arcing under. And then the webbing of the finger is coming down. Okay. And I'm going to explain why this finger is so off in a minute. Okay. All right. So that's arcing under. That's coming like this. And then this is sweeping out here. And then there's a digit separation that comes down. And then it rounds out like that. Okay? Now, what's happening right here up here? Why is this in darkness? Because that's a cast shadow. The light's coming from the right. Okay, so everything on the right side is light, and everything on the left is in shadow. Okay, so this middle finger is making a shadow on the ring finger. And we're going to go. This cast shadow's arcing over, under, and then under. And then it's coming down at an angle. And then this cast shadow merges with the core shadow. So here's the core shadow here. Here's the core shadow here. And that's still core shadow. And we see. Now, I want to say something about the core shadow. After the core shadow, typically you'll see this thing, this part of the shadow called reflected light. Okay, you'll see reflected light. All right? Now, sometimes you won't always see the reflected light. Sometimes all you see is the edge of the core shadow. And we're hatching here. It's doing this hatching deal. Okay. Now, we want to make sure that we put this in here. That's rounded where that crease is. What's up? Yeah, go ahead. All right. So there's that. Now, so we got the pinky finger to put in here. And I'm gonna go back to core shadow. I'm gonna kind of like talk about that a little bit more. Now, another thing that we need to pay attention to as we're doing this, okay, is our values. Right now we're doing just like, we're doing this hatching and it's creating a value. It's creating like a medium value, but we can still go darker. And we will go darker in a little bit. Now, this last finger, this pinky finger, okay, it's angling down quite a bit. It's starting like right here. And as you can see, so that's coming down, down, down. And the fingers are kind of doing this. They're doing this arc thing, you know. And as far as animation is concerned, a lot of movement is in arcs. An arm, if an arm swings, it's moving in an arc. If a finger moves, it's moving in an arc, okay? Lots of arcs in animation, okay? So this, this pinky ends about right here. So it's gonna arc over and under. It's a really long S curve, okay, S curve. And that's coming down and then back, and it's gonna sweep back up. Remember, fingers are thin at the end and then they get wider where they attach. Okay, and this is coming up and wrapping around here like this. That's where it attaches. And you're like, well, Mr. Harward, why isn't it coming out up here where you had the thing? Because of this is loose right here. Okay, this is loose right here. So this bone right here, it moves. It's not stationary. So these things can move back and forth. They're pretty loose. This one and this one. And to my knowledge, like this is the metacarpal here and here are stationary, and they don't move that much, if at all. But these two I've noticed do move. Okay. Now, what's happening here? Wherever you have a crease or a curve, it's a pinch. Okay? And this is this is stretching the skin, and then it's wrapping around. And then this is wrapping around like so. Okay? So we're putting those digits in. We got a little bit of nail, straight line, and then let's curve that like that. And then this is pinching here. So there's a little bit. Now we're going to get into like the big forms of the palm of the hand. You have this major crease, which we're going to curve, and this is going to go straight, and it's curving here. Okay, so that's a major fat pad on the hand right here. This one right here, this space. Okay, and this is going to curve right here. And then this one comes up, and it comes around, and it wraps around like so. So that's going to go straightish, so arcing under, arcing over, arcing under, and kind of straight up. Okay, so there's your next, there's another section of the hand. And then we have this really big section right here. This soft stuff right here is muscle under here, okay? Like that's muscle and skin, of course. And this right here, this little bulge on top, that's muscle right there, okay? All right. Let's move this over so we can start. We're going to talk about the thumb in a minute here. Now, let's go to that pinky, and let's go. Here's a cast shadow. So that cast shadow is wrapping around this pinky. And why do I say it's wrapping around? It's wrapping around the pinky because the pinky is a cylinder, okay? These are like, well, like I said, I don't know if I said this already, but the fingers can be like boxes and cylinders combined. All right, we're going to hatch this like so. All right. Let's bring this down. Let's shrink this down. Let's talk about the thumb now. your thumb starts down here. Okay, your thumb starts down here. So you have here to here. Okay, that's your long digit there. And then here to here. This is about equal to that. That's about equal to this. Shh. That's about equal to that. Okay? Now, you have on your thumb, you have this thumb box, or it's a triangle shape. Okay, we got this point right here, we got this point right here, and we have this point right here. And it makes this triangle shape. All right, so you want to be aware of that. And then this comes down, and you can make, this is like a box here. All right, now, so here we have this muscle right here wrapping around that big shape right there. And we have this part right here wrapping around. You have this crease right here. You have this portion right here. Now this right here is also muscle right here. This is skin and muscle right here. And it creates this triangular shape muscle. And this is also a triangular shape muscle. It creates this crease in the middle. Okay? So that goes like that. Now, what we see coming down from here, this is rounded here. It's rounded coming down to about right here. And this part right, I'd say right about here, that curve is this knuckle right here. Okay, coming at you, at us. Okay, we don't see where this attaches. It's back here behind somewhere. So this is coming around, and it's coming towards us at this angle, and we're wrapping around, then it's coming at this angle, and the thumb does this. It does this weird hook thing, and that's gonna come down, and that's right there is that last digit of the thumb. Okay, so this is that last digit. From here to here is the second digit, and then we don't see the third. What's this right there? That is this muscle that's right here. Okay, and it's a little bit fatty tissue on top. Okay, so now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to put in the core shadow. Now look, watch this. We're going to go down here like this. Watch, we're going to go out. We're going to make a triangle. This is going to come out and come back and go down like that. You see that zigzag? It's at an angle. We're going to go boom, back, and then boom like that at these angles, okay? So we're going to go, okay, the core shadow is kind of curved, and then the skin stretching here. We're coming to a point and then making like a triangle, and then we're going to come back. So that skin stretching there, we're going to come back and it's going to curve, and then that's where that thumb is right there. So that line right there, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this better, is our edge, our shadow shape. And all this, just hatching, all this is in shadow. And there's a cast shadow right here going along the wrist. Let me zoom out so you guys can see that better. Like so. This is cast shadow. This method, this way of looking at the human figure and hands, and this can be applied to hands, feet, arms, faces, whatever, all parts of the human figure. Why is this important? Because your characters that you create, if you create them, are based off the human body. And if you understand the way that light hits form and light hits the figure, then when you create a character, you're going to be able to take that understanding and to simplify it and to make really strong looking characters. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hatching right here on this thumb, vertical hatching. Because we want to round this thing out. Now, I want to go back to areas of the hand that, yeah, I want to go back to areas of the hand that are darker than others. You're welcome. Okay? And the first thing I want to do is let's zoom in here to this area because I can see that immediately. This is in light. This is in a little bit darker shadow. That gets a little bit lighter. Now look at this. Where the cast shadow is, it's really dark. So this area is really dark. So we want to darken that. So I'm just going to, what I like to do now, I combine hatching with, let me show you guys. I combine hatching with cross hatching. This is cross hatching when you cross it, okay? And I like to scribble too. I'll do this scribbling thing. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribble. And the cool thing about ballpoint pens that I like a lot is that you can push down harder to softer and less ink comes out and you can get more ink or less ink. So we're looking at this part of the finger right here where that cast shadow is, and we're looking at that, identifying that value, we're making this darker. So I'm just scribbling here, making that darker. Okay. And then I'm going to blend down here, pushing down softer and at a different angle. And then I'm looking at it going, okay, what other areas could be darker? I'm looking at the cast shadow right here between the middle finger and the pointer finger. That could be darker. And I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see that better. And I'm going to scribble there. And where the core shadow is here on the pointer finger, I'm going to barely go across that boundary, and I'm holding the pen horizontally as I'm going down and softening that edge. Coming down to the hand. And I'm going to, now, we're going to blend to the left and a little bit of, I'm going to do some hatching to the right. So it turns the form, and then a little bit of hatching to the left. To soften that edge. And I'm going to go around the creases of the skin here. I'm putting more hatching, okay? But and we could keep going and keep going and keep going, and like this needs some hatching here along this crease. This needs some hatching along this crease and along this side of the hand because there's less light here. And you think logically, you look observationally, and you also think logically. Sometimes you go, where is there less light? Where is there more light hitting? Like right here, I see a cast shadow. In the shadow side, I see a division of light here. And I see a division of light like a darker shape in the shadows. So in the shadows, there's not just one value, but there's many different values in the shadows, okay, and even in the light. But what I want to do now is, so I'm gonna put up another hand picture, and I want you guys to draw it this size, and you can help each other out, and you're gonna try one on your own, and I'm gonna give you some time to do that, okay? So I'm gonna put a different hand up, and I'm gonna have you guys do this on your own. I'm gonna give you like, how long did that take? So this is gonna be your hand. So you guys are gonna do this one on your own, okay? Take those ideas that I just gave you and do this. All right. Hey, whoever's there, I'm gonna sign off. So I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out and watching.